Folks, we talk college football here every day. So if you enjoyed the content, please smash the like button. Subscribe right here. We go live just about every day. So hit that bell for the notifications to know when we go live. Talking Florida State with Adrian Polk, 863 Seminole TV. Check him out right there. You mentioned the schedule and the winning being conducive to holding on to these recruits, and we have no idea what that magic number is for any particular recruit. If they're going to lose a recruit because they went 5-7, and other recruits are going to be like, I'm committed to Florida State regardless.
Right.
But we know that it's going to have some kind of impact. When you look at this schedule, to me, there's a portion of it. Okay, there's a couple have to be wins. There's no question that they definitely should win 2, 3, 4 games. Then there's this section of the Wake Forests and the NC States that who knows?
Yeah.
They're pretty much on that level right now. And then you've got 5 games that they are a decided underdog right now. This is a tough schedule. Notre Dame and Florida out of conference. Hardly anybody in the country plays 2 out of conference games like that. It's a difficult schedule. They're going to have to break through and pull off a major upset or two to get that 8-4 type record.
I agree. Now, I'm trying to remember the schedule off the top of my head, but if I'm not mistaken, that first 6 games to me is the key. That back 6 is you're getting Miami, Clemson, Florida, I believe, NC State, and I believe at Boston College in November could be tough. I believe that's in the back 6 of that schedule as well. And I think your first 6, you start off with Notre Dame, who, me personally, I've been pretty optimistic about this Notre Dame game.
Okay.
Because it's a home game, first game of the year. They lose their quarterback, Ian Book. They're going to be losing a few NFL caliber offensive linemen. They lose some talent on that defense that I think were as NFL caliber. I think you're catching if you're talking about Notre Dame, I think you're catching them. Would you like maybe Jacksonville State first and then Notre Dame? Maybe, sure. But that first game of the season, man, you're catching them at the right time. And I kind of like it because I think game 1, you're going to see exactly what maybe this team is built of. Game 1, and that's gonna kind of set the tone for the season. Then you have North Carolina, I think, to finish off that first 6. That one's going to be tough because that's in Chapel Hill. I know we beat them last year. That team's going to have revenge on its mind, and that's going to be a home game for them. They still got Sam Howell. But if you can go 4-2 at worst, if you can't go any worse, which means you lose North Carolina, you lose Notre Dame, but you take care of the other games.
Mm-hmm.
We can go 4-2 in the first 6. I think we can find 3 wins with a chance to win 8 in a bowl game down the stretch. Now, like you said, we have to pull off an upset. Out of the big 3, Clemson, I think, is, before seeing this team play, I can't see any real way that we can beat Clemson. But those other 2 rivalry games, Miami, Florida, I mean, far be it from me. I know people are gonna love this. I don't think Miami's that great. I don't. So I know Miami fans are gonna love me for saying that. I don't think Miami's that great. I mean, we'll see. I think that Miami game's winnable. I know what they did to us last year. Got it. I don't think you're gonna see anything like that this year. And Florida's losing a lot of talent. And I mean, that's the last game of the season. But Dan Mullen hasn't exactly been. He's kind of been shopping himself to the NFL from rumors I've heard. So I don't know how that team's going to perform this year. So I think 7-8 games is going to be tough. I agree. But if you can find a way, especially if you can pull off that Notre Dame upset, which is that's the one game I'm kind of keying on in that first half of the schedule. And this is also granted you don't lose a game you shouldn't lose to a Wake Forest. I don't think Louisville is going to be particularly as good as they were last year. They lost 2-2. Their running back is also an NFL caliber guy who's gone, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
I think Louisville is going to be more, and they weren't even good last year. That shows how bad we were. Yeah, I don't think Louisville is going to be that much to really worry about. And I think the majority of our home games are in that first 6 as well, if I'm not mistaken. So you go 4-2 at worst. I would love to see 5-1, and I think then you're really talking a somewhat successful season.
Yeah, this Florida team's probably going to be about as different a team as any team going from 2020 to 21. So you can pretty much forget what Florida football was on the field, especially offensively last year. They're going to be a completely different group coming in here this year. Adrian Polk on the line, 863 Seminole TV. So how did it work for you in regards to being a Florida State fan? How did all that happen for you?
Oh man, I was young. I've told the story before. To this day, I'm pretty sure it was Florida and Florida State. But at times I can't even remember if it was exactly the Gators. But I know I had knew more about NFL, like growing up in the 90s. Everybody was Cowboy fans. So I had knew about NFL and the Cowboys. But I wasn't quite big on college football at this point. So I think I'm probably 6 or 7, somewhere around there. And there's this team on TV, and they're playing this other team. And I think it was the Gators. But I was like, man, the jerseys look pretty cool. But what sold me was the first time I heard the war chant, I thought that was the coolest thing that I had ever heard. And since then, I started following them. But then when I watched that guy number 9 play football for the first time, I knew that was a school. I fell in love with the school, and that was it. Ever since then, that was it. First time I watched Peter Warwick.
Yep. Yeah, he was electric, no doubt about that. Adrian Polk, again, I encourage you to head on over to his channel. Check out his work, 863 Seminole TV. Adrian, we appreciate you stopping by. It was a great discussion. Welcome back anytime.
Thank you, man. Have me back anytime, please. This was great. And I had a good time. So I would definitely love to be back.